What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video, I want to talk to you about the Queensfoil Sensor artifact we got this season. A few weeks ago, when they detailed the mods in the TWAB, I thought that the artifact would be extremely good. Now that it is here and I've gotten some time to play with it, I can confirm that it is in fact very strong. So in this video, I want to take a little trip down memory lane and point out how far Bungie has come with their artifact mods. Obviously, the artifact itself and how it works got reworked with Lightfall thanks to the reimagining of the mod system, but even at that, I can confidently say that this is the best artifact we've ever gotten. Sure, in the past we've had some cracked mods like Oppressive Darkness, Breach and Clear, and Particle Deconstruction, but the rest of the mods were often nothing too crazy. Those mods just became must-runs and you would never run anything else. But this season, there's build variety with the mods, and what I like is you really don't have to choose between certain mods. The only case really is the final column, where if you are running a rocket and a solar weapon, you probably want Argent Ordnance and Rays of Precision, but if you are solo, then you will have to give one up as you are throwing if you don't run solo operative. For me, I will take the extra rocket damage and forego the ignitions from solar precision kills. But if we look at the rest of the final column, you never really have to make trade-offs. If you are running a Strand build, then you probably want Horde Shuttle. If you are running a Stasis build, then you go with Hail the Storm. Sure, there is a world where you want Rays of Precision and Argent Ordnance and Hail the Storm, but for the most part, you don't have to make any trade-offs on your build. And if we look at the other columns as well, there aren't so many mods dedicated to one playstyle that you have to make trade-offs. If you're running a Stasis build, go with Pillar of Ice and Hail the Storm. Strand, you likely also have a Strand weapon, so Unraveling Orbs and Horde Shuttle. With these two mods, now you have Unraveling rounds that can also spawn Threadlings. What I am saying is it is a great artifact because as long as you are running Solar, Stasis, or Strand, then you have room to run all the artifact mods that synergize with that subclass. But the reason this artifact is so good compared to seasons past is because we have meaningful perks right away in the second column. The first column has always been reserved for anti-champion weapons, but the second column is usually just trash. In Season of Defiance, we had 4 mods that reduced our subclass mod cost from 3 to 1. It's nice, I guess, but it doesn't really enhance a build. It only allows you to get better stats because you can put on more resilience or discipline. Season of the Deep also had a bunch of these mods. Then last season we had 3 mods that just gave us dual siphon functionality. That shit is boring. Where this season we actually have meaningful mods that can enhance a certain build in a tangible way. From Whence You Came is great in the new dungeon and it helps more than those other mods ever could, and it's only in the second column. Kindling Trigger applying Scorch is massive for solar builds, and I have a few builds coming out this season that take advantage of this in very crazy ways, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those. Then we have the usual Origin Specialization mod, which is rather boring, and the Dual Siphon mod, but at least it is only 1 Siphon mod and not 3. Then in the third column, you have 4 out of 5 really strong mods. Flint Striker allows you to get Radiant as long as you are using a solar weapon. This is crazy good because it means you can get Radiant on any subclass. Torch is a nice little buff to damage that is quite easy to apply with something like a Chill Clip fusion rifle. Heart of the Flame makes raid bosses fall over thanks to how good Celestial Nighthawk is now, and Wished into Being is surprisingly strong. This one is a nice surprise for me and actually allowed me to get 2 supers off in one damage phase on the Ogre in the new dungeon. Never before have we had this many strong perks in the third column. Then, in the fourth column, we have Revitalizing Blast. A 15% weaken with our solar abilities is insanely powerful, especially given how good solar is. And in the past, we had the exact same artifact perk, but it was called Withering Heat, and it did the same thing, but it was in the final column and cost 6 energy, and this had to go on your class item. But no one ever ran it that season because it was in the same season as Particle Deconstruction, which cost 7 energy, so you couldn't run them both. So this is a no-brainer to run on a solar subclass. And Pillar of Ice is a no-brainer for Stasis. And then, if you're running a Stasis or Strand weapon, Dragon's Bite and Unraveling Orbs could pair very nicely with those. Again, if we look at some of the artifacts from the past, so many were just filler mods to pad out the artifact, and you seldom change things up. Many would just reduce the cost of mods, which, as I said, doesn't do much to actually change the playstyle of a build. Where many of the mods this season actually affect your build and gameplay. Not just a few of the final column mods like it has been in the past. And last season we had Elemental Orbs, a cool design and something that may come back as an armor mod in the future, but these weren't great in high-end content. Getting to make yourself radiant from a few headshots with a solar weapon is much more useful in a GM or solo dungeon than spawning in an elemental orb. Anyways, I just wanted to make this video to talk about why this new artifact feels so freaking amazing, and I am pumped to bring you many amazing builds with these artifact mods. Thanks for watching, and take care.